Rameshwar Yadav is a retired Lieutenant General from the Indian Army and joins us now. Thank you so much for coming on the programme. Now, we heard a Chinese spokesman saying that this incident happened at the Chinese side of the line of control and that China is not to blame for this. Who do you think is to blame here?
I think Chinese, they have intruded into our territory. There is a clear-cut demarcated LAC, though there are places where the perceptions do differ. And between India and China, there is a mechanism available so that in case of any misunderstanding, we can sort out these matters through talks between military leaders on the ground. But this time what has happened, the Chinese troops, they have intruded into the Indian territories. You see, one has to look at the larger picture. What is happening in China? China is under tremendous pressure as of now. You see, the world over, they are trying to blame that the virus, this pandemic which is on throughout the world, it has come from the China and about 120 countries. They have requested for a probe into this. Besides that, there are problems in Hong Kong, there are problems in Taiwan, then there are problems in South China Sea. And there was, if you recall, last month, end of May, they were having their National Congress meet. And it is believed that within China also there are certain internal problems, politically. So the top leadership, they should be seen very strong and very decisive. So China has done the best, what they know the best. They believe in using military for their foreign policy objectives.
Okay.
And so they have started showing aggressiveness in South China Sea. They have gone and shown their force in front of Japan, Vietnam, then Taiwan, and now they have come to India. Okay. And in India, they have come to a place where they find that tactically it will be an advantage to them in case they move the line of actual control to the westward.
General Rameshwar, I want to ask you, though, what really happened? We're hearing India's opposition and many other people asking the Prime Minister Modi for details. 20 Indian soldiers there. Why don't we know the truth?
You see, truth is known to the troops which are in contact. And you will agree with me that military matters are not discussed in open domain. And we have a very strong political system in our country. And we have very good, strong leadership in the country. And India is a very mature country. And all problems can be resolved through negotiation. And at diplomatic level and also at military level, we have established mechanisms. But China has chosen to break those mechanisms and they have taken a unilateral decision to get into Indian territory.
Now, you mentioned China showing its aggressiveness. Looking at the bigger picture now, what are the ramifications for China and India's relationship?
I think both countries are mature countries, they're large countries, and it obviously is going to make a difference in our future negotiations. You see, by doing this action, by intruding into India, despite all the kind of mechanism, probably China is going to lose India as a friend. And what will the dimension of these ramifications, the time will tell. Though what has happened day before yesterday, yes, it could have been avoided if China wanted. And having means, even if it has taken place, now there is a discussions going on at Major General's level. Local commanders are meeting. They are trying to diffuse the entire problem. And you have already shown on your visuals that there is a uproar in the entire country. And you must understand one thing, the strength of China lies in the economy. And for the economic progress and their pursuance, they need two areas. One is South China Sea and then get into Indian Ocean. And second, what they have now gone in for very big political investment, that is China-Pak economic corridor. So both these are vulnerable and China is very uncomfortable about their security. And whatever is happening as on date in South China Sea and in India, these are manifestations of this psyche of China.
Okay.
And you must one more point I want to put across. You must understand, look at geography of China. China is literally a landlocked country except its eastern seaboard. And to conduct their trade, they have to pass through South China Sea, wherein they do not have very friendly countries. Then there are two bottlenecks, State of Malacca, Saint of Sundra. Then they are getting into Indian Ocean, and they have to cross more than 3,000 nautical miles to reach their energy resources. You see, 70% of the trade and 90% of the energy passes through Indian Ocean. And this is the area where they're very insecure. That is the reason they are trying to secure themselves in South China Sea. Then once they come to Indian Ocean, then there is the concept that they have followed, that string of pearls in the ocean is primarily bases in small little countries, Sri Lanka, then Pakistan, and then Somalia. So that is a thing.
Okay.
And now
we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your analysis. Very in-depth. Retired Lieutenant General Rameshwar Yadav, we really appreciate your time.